believe this dream is connected to the dream I was given a few days ago that I shared about where the church has kind of gotten out of the open waters and has gone down this channel where there's death and dry ground. And I feel this is connected. Okay, so in the dream I was given last night, I came home from church and I was actually going to my parents' house. I was at their house. And I went into the bedroom and I looked up in the ceiling, and the drywall was so wet that it looked like it was just ready to collapse. And I was praying. I was just like, oh, Lord, don't let the ceiling collapse. So I went outside, and my mom and dad had just gotten back. Now, my mom and dad passed away years ago, but I believe in this dream the that my dad symbolized the father. Okay, and so anyway, we were assessing the damage, and the damage was really, really severe. And you could literally see as the wind blew, the front part of the roof was disconnected. It was kind of blowing open. You could see into the house. I mean, it was really bad. So my mom and I were doing something to try to repair it, and I said to her, well, where's Dad? And she said something like he's going to get the heavy duty tools. And I was like, oh, well, the door opens, my dad comes in, and he has all these tools, a lot like what a contractor would have if he was about to build a house. So my dad was ready to start doing some major repair work to the roof. All right, so as I prayed about this dream, I felt like the Lord led me to Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18. Okay, and this is what it says. Through laziness, the rafters sag. Because of idle hands, the house leaks. So, what I feel the Lord was showing me in this dream is something very similar to what I shared a few days ago about that pastor. Okay, he was called to a work. He was called to open a home for pregnant, single moms so that they wouldn't abort their babies. Okay, that was his personal call, and he has not done it yet. And my friend Gloria, 6 years later, she was shown, I think a year ago, that these babies have been dying. Okay, she saw this river of blood with tiny bones in it, and she was shown that many of these children have died because of this pastor's disobedience. All right, and this pastor is now getting ready to go on a 6-week mission trip to Africa. All right, this is the problem. All right, when we ignore the call the Lord has placed upon our lives, and we go about doing things that we want to do, all right, it's like going down that channel where there's dry ground. We're getting off track, and the further we go in our own plans and in our own works, the more we are off track, and the longer it's going to take for us to get back to the open waters. Okay, and each one of us, each one of us has a specific individual call upon our lives. And just like that pastor, that call could be saving lives. We could be called to do something that would result in people being spared, children being spared from being aborted, or something. It doesn't matter how big or how small that call is, or that work is. I mean, it could be taking food to a neighbor, making and establishing a relationship with a neighbor. It could be, leading a Bible study in your home. It could be going on a mission trip to Africa. But the point is, it has to be a personal call. Just like I shared in the last video, in John 15:7, Jesus said this: if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. All right? Again, when Jesus said, if my words, that is rhema words, which is a personal word just for you. Just like when Moses, received the call to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt. All right, God supplied him with whatever he asked for, anything he needed in accordance with that word. The same is true for your call. Whatever the Lord has called you to do, all right, if you will ask for anything in accordance with that word, it will be done for you. That's the promise. That's what Jesus said. So I'm just encouraged. I don't want to sound judgmental. I just want to encourage every member of the body of Christ to sit down with the Lord, okay, and search out exactly what it is He is calling you to do. That personal rhema word you've received from Him, and you may know what that is, okay, but you may not know. And so it's just so important that we be about that personal call, whatever the Lord has shown us we are purposed to do, okay, and I believe that when we are about His business, doing exactly what we're called to do, that everything just falls into place, okay? I believe there's no greater reward. I don't believe you feel more satisfied doing anything in life than exactly what you were purposed to do. I think that's one of the litmus tests, that when you are doing that thing that you were called, that you were prepared to do, that you will just have such a joy in doing that. And so I just, again, church, please take time to search out what it is and trust the Lord to answer any prayer request, anything that you need. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let the enemy in any way have his way. Just like with that pastor, the price that's being paid now is extremely high, with all the babies that have lost their lives because of his disobedience. Please take time to search out what the Lord has for you to do. And again, if you have any thoughts, if you have any comments that you'd like to share, by all means, please do. And if you're doing something that you've been called to do, the Lord's called you to do it, share that. I think that will encourage the body of Christ, to know that others are walking in their call, and